Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Ascot Racecourse here on Wednesday. It is June the 20th, 2018. I'm going to look at all the races on today's program from Ascot, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and join me the rest of the week for more Royal Ascot previews here on YouTube. We're going to look at all the races on today's program from Ascot. Here in North America, they'll be offering a pick four wager on the first four races, so I'll give you a ticket for that. I'm not sure if it's going to be offered to the European players, but here in North America, they're going to do a special pick four, so hopefully we can make some money with that. So let's get on to it, starting off with the 2:30, the first race from Ascot, and this is probably the most wide open race of one of the most wide open races of the day, definitely of the early pick four. The first race from Ascot, it's the Group 2 Queen Mary Stakes. It's Group 2 race for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $148,500. This race is for 2-year-old fillies only. Field of 22 horses going the 1,000-meter trip or 5 furlongs on the turf course. My top selection here, I like the one-horse Chelsea Cloisters. I'm going to go 110-21 in the TriCast or the trifecta. That's my top three, but to tell you the truth, in my pick four, in Australia I believe they call it a quaddy, I'm going to go 3 deep. This is, like I said, this is a very wide open race. 110-21 for me in the pick four. Yeah, maybe I'll do an each way wager on all 3 of them, but the first 12 top as my top selection out of 3 of them. The one horse Chelsea Cloisters. Frankie Dettori on this Wesley Ward train, 3-year-old filly by First Samurai. You know, this horse has only had one outing. That came at Keeneland, 4.5 furlongs, 900 meters, and just a basic main special weight. You know, your stereotypical Keeneland 2-year-old race in the spring. You know, this horse just took off clear. A very nice victory for this horse there. She did everything right. You know, she's definitely the fastest horse in this race. She ran quite a fast pace of 151 the last time out, or excuse me, 51. What am I saying? 151. It was 51 flat she ran that day, and you know, she just had a very easy going away victory. You know, speed is deadly here, and I think if this horse just takes off clear, I think she has the victory. You know, she's been training well at Keeneland, 2-1, not the best price, but I think you're gonna have to take it. Watch out for her. If she doesn't run her race and she just flatters in the stretch and just hits the wall, I think like 10 horse, a little bit of a price play at 12-1. Kodiana could run a big race. Paul Hannigan's on this one for Richard Fahey. This 2-year-old field by Kodiak here. You know, this horse's most recent outing came the 9th of June, so which was a week and a half ago now, Beverly. 5 furlongs on good ground and a Class 2 fillies conditions race. You know, this horse won by head, was the 4-1 second choice. She just quickened up nicely and had a very nice victory there. I think the dry ground really helped her. Her first outing at Nottingham, 30th of May, wasn't the best running. She ran on soft ground, 5 furlongs, 1,000 meters in a Class 5 maiden fillies race. Horse finished third by 3/4 of a length that day. You know, she just never got going. The wet ground, I think, hampered her a little bit, but you know, she's making a quick turnaround. I don't think that should be a problem, and I think she has a decent turn of foot to get the victory. At 12-1, she's a little bit of a price play in this race, along with the 21. So perfect. She's at 6-1, not as good as 12-1, but she's 6-1. I think she could maybe get a piece of it. Rye Moore's on this one for Aidan O'Brien. Watch out for that duo today, because I think they're very loaded on today's Royal Ascot card. You know, this 21 horse, So Perfect, 2-year-old filly by Scat Daddy. This horse is running in Ireland, and most recently in Ireland, this horse ran 20th of May at Nice. 6 furlongs on very firm ground and a Class 1 listed stakes. This horse finished 4th by 3 lengths. She just didn't have the best of closing kicks at the end. She ran okay. She ran better than the margin that she lost at, but she just couldn't get that good closing kick. I think coming here with a furlong less, with actually more faster ground, I like her chances a lot. Before that, her first outing at Navan, yielding ground, 5 furlongs fillies maiden race. You know, this horse won by nose, was the 4-1 third choice. That there's gonna be second choice. Just quickened up nicely and had a very nice victory there. Out of the 2 offerings, you know, the last one was okay. The first one was very good. I think here at 6-1, this horse again could get a piece of it. Like I said, Aidan O'Brien today. is very loaded on the card, and I think it could be a very magical day for him. So watch out for this horse here today. So to recap my bets for the first, 2:30 from Royal Ascot. It's the Group 2 Queen Mary Stakes. Going to go with the one horse Chelsea Cloisters as the top selection. I'm going to go 1, 10, 21 in the TriCast or the trifecta. That's my top three. In my pick four or quaddy, I'm going to go 3 deep, 1, 10, 21. So now let's get on to race number 2 from Ascot. The second race, the 305. It's the Group 2 Queen's Vase Stakes. It's a Group 2 race for Class 1 horses going for the purse of $270,000. This race is for 3-year-olds only. Field of 12 horses going the 2,800-meter trip, or the distance of ground here of 1 mile and 3/4 on the Ascot lawn, the turf course. My top selection here, like I said, Aidan O'Brien I think is loaded on today's card, and I think this 5-horse Q Garden should really run a big one. I'm going to go 5, 11, 9 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 5, 11, 9 TriCast trifecta. Now to my pick 4 quaddy, I'm going to go 5, 11 here. 5, 11. That's the 2 horses I really like. But my top selection of 5-horse Q Gardens. Rymore's on this Aidan O'Brien train 3 colt by Galileo. This horse wants firm ground. She's going to get it today. Her last run came the 2nd of June at Epsom. Or his last run came at Epsom a few weeks ago, 1.5 miles in the Group 1 Epsom Derby. This horse just finished 9th by 27 lengths. Why Postra? Just weekend out of it. It just wasn't his day to win. He should have ran a lot better than he did, but he didn't. Before that, at Lingfield during their Derby trial a few weeks ago, this horse finished 2nd by 3 1/4 lengths. Ran quite well. Wasn't going to catch the winner, but he ran well there. And then at Newmarket during the Craven 1,800 meters, Mount Latham illicit stakes. Horse finished 3rd by 6.5 lengths. He needed the race. He never really got going. I think the stayer's distance of 1 mile and 3/4 should really help this horse here today, and everything points to this horse. If you just look at his races, he just likes firmer ground. So watch out for this horse here today. This is a horse that you could maybe put on the radar for the St. Ledger in a few months' time, because he looks like the perfect kind of horse. I'm guessing they might be testing this horse to see how he would do there. But I like this horse a lot here today at 5-2. Not the best price, but you're going to have to take it. If he doesn't show up, which hopefully he does, but if he doesn't show up, maybe the 11-horse Stream of Stars could run a big one. Problem with this horse is he's breaking from barrier number 11, which is not good. You want to be drawn low on this race course. Frankie Dettori's on this one for John Gosden, 3-year-old gelding by See the Stars. This horse has had 2 outings, and actually had an outing here at Ascot a few weeks ago, the 11th of May, 1.5 miles in a Class 3 maiden race for the 3-year-olds. This horse won by 1.5 lengths. This horse just had a decent turn of foot to get the victory. An all-around good race, even with heavy weight. Before that Newmarket, 1.25 miles during the Craven meeting in a Class 4 novice race. This horse finished 2nd by 3.5 lengths. Wasn't going to catch the winner, Star of Southwold, who just ran a little bit of a better race. But this horse, he chased well. It wasn't a bad outing. I think maybe at 4-1, if this horse could overcome the barrier post draw, I think he could get piece fit. But Q Gardens is a very nice horse also, so watch out for those two. I'll use both of them in the pick 4 to get a little insurance. So to recount my bets for race number 2 from Ascot, the 305. It's the Group 2 Queen's Vase Stakes. Gonna go with the 5-horse Q Gardens. I'm gonna go 5, 11, 9 in the TriCast of the trifecta. I'll go 5, 11 in my quaddy or pick 4. So now let's get on to race number 3. The 340, the third race from Ascot. It is the Duke of Cambridge Stakes, the Group 2 Duke of Cambridge Stakes. It's Group 2 race for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $254,000. This race is for 4-year-olds and upwards, fills and mares only. Field of 11 horses going the distance of ground of 1,600 meters, or the straight 1 mile on the turf course. My top selection here, I like the 1-horse Hydrangea. Like I said many times so far, Aidan O'Brien is just, he looks like he's very loaded today, especially in the first 3 races. I'm going to go 1-11-7 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 1-11-7 TriCast trifecta. The 1-horse Hydrangea is my top selection here. 9-5. I know it's a bad price, but you're just going to have to take it. Rymore's on this one. This horse's most recent outing, first off the layoff, came at Curra a few weeks ago, 26th of May, 1 mile in the Group 2 Lawn Wade's Stud Stakes. This horse finished 2nd by 1 3/4 lengths behind Opal Tiara. This horse just couldn't get that good kick at the end, but she ran well, but it was her first off the life. Give her a little bit of break. Probably her best race lifetime, I think. It might be up for discussion to other people, but I think the horse's best race lifetime came on this race course a year ago, or 6 months ago, whatever it was now. Ascot, a mile and a half in the Fillies Mare Stakes, the British Champions Filly Mare Stakes. This horse won by 2 lengths from a wide posture. This horse's turn of foot that day was just very incredible, and beat those very nice horses, beat some nice older horses also, an all-around decent effort. And then the Prix de l'Opera Chantilly, a mile and a quarter last October. This horse finished second by a head behind stablemate Rhododendron, who's running on Tuesday, I believe, in the Queen Anne. This horse, she ran a good race there also. It wasn't a bad run. She just got beat at the wire. And then the Rock Matron at Leopardstown. This horse won by a head, quickened up nicely. Very nice victory there. This horse has run the last 2 races on this race course for Hydrangea. They were both decent races. One last time out, which was an incredible race, and before that was a decent third place finish in last year's Coronation Stakes here at Ascot. Finished third by 2.5 lengths behind Winter, another very nice Aidan O'Brien horse. This horse, just ran well. I like this horse here a lot at 9-5. No, she's a favorite, but you're going to have to take her, especially if you're going to play the pick 4 here in North America. Another horse, I think, we'll have to see the ticket price of my pick 4 if she will be included, but I think the 11 horse Wilhelmina could maybe get a piece of it at 7-1. Another Frankie Dettori horse on this one. This horse ran the Princess Elizabeth Stakes a few weeks ago at Epsom, mile 16, June to 2nd. This horse won by 3/4 length, and even from the wide posture as the favorite, this horse had a good turn of foot there. An all-around decent effort, second off the break. Before that, Newmarket in the Dahlia Stakes. This horse finished second by 4 lengths behind Wodia, who made her first start since winning last year's Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf at Del Mar. Wodia just had a very good race. Unfortunately, I believe it was her final race because she was injured after that, and she's going to be put to stud next winter. But this horse just really couldn't catch Wodia, who just ran a hell of a race, and also was her first off the layoff. But this is the horse that you really like, the dry ground. She's going to get it today. Maybe at the odds of 7-1. She could maybe upset here, but Hydrangea is very nice also. But we'll have to see what the ticket structure is for my pick 4 if we have enough money to use her. But if you have an unlimited bankroll, would use her. When I play a pick 4 now, I don't want to give out a ticket I won't play because I don't feel it. I just don't feel on a professional front. I don't feel comfortable giving out like $150 pick 4 play because it's just I would never play that because I don't have $150 to just do that. I do have I'll give it a $30 play, $36 play, but not $150 play because I just don't have that money. But if you have that extra money, maybe Wilhelmina would be good to use on it also. We'll see if I have that extra money. But to recap my bets now for the third from Ascot, the 340, it's the Group 2 Duke of Cambridge Stakes. As a top selection, I like the 1-horse Hydrangea. I'm gonna go 1-11-7 in the TriCast of the trifecta. I'll use the 1-horse in my pick 4, and like I said, maybe the 11-horse will be used also. So now let's get on to race number 4. The 4th race, the 4:20 post time. It's the feature race of the afternoon. It's the Group 1 Prince of Wales Stakes. It's a Group 1 race for Class 1 horses going for a purse of just over $1 million. This race is for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 7 horses going the distance of ground of 2,000 meters with a distance of ground of 1.25 miles on the turf course. You have Cracksman running in this one, and I just don't think he'll be getting beat today. So he'll be my top pick and a single in the pick 4 to end it off. I'm gonna go 2-6-5 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 2-6-5 TriCast trifecta. The top selection here, the 2-horse Cracksman. Frankie Dettori's on this John Costin trained 4-year-old colt by Frankel. This horse is finally getting dry ground again. This horse does not like soft ground, any kind of wet ground. This horse likes dry ground, and he doesn't like Epsom. We'll get to that in right now, because his last race was at Epsom, 1.5 miles in the Coronation Cup. This horse won by a head, and he just fought a good fight just to get there at the end. Had to alter course a few times in the stretch run, but this horse really ran a good effort. Something to notice also, the horse going out of the gate, or right before opening the gate, the horse hit its head very hard on the gate, and it kind of, the first I don't know, 2 furlongs. The horse was looked like he was in a daze, and with that being said, for him to still win was quite impressive. But he's come back to Ascot where he ran a hell of a race last fall, and I just think coming back here he's just do a lot better. But the start before the coronation, he ran in France at Longchamp, a mile and a quarter in the Group One Prix-Gannet. This horse won by 4 lengths that day, even on a little bit of on the softer side of good ground. He just quickened up nicely, very nice, easy race there. And then the Champion Stakes at Ascot, a mile and a quarter last October. Horse won by 7 lengths, giving Frankie Dettori his first win in the race. He just again had a very impressive victory. Won the Prix Neil last year and won the Great Voltaire Stakes very easily at York last summer. I like this horse a lot here today, and I just think he should really run a big one. 1 to 2, this price sucks, but just watch this race and watch him run a big one. Like I said, he's a single in the multi-race pick 4 here in North America for me. So to recap my bets for the 4th race, the 420 from Ascot, it's the Group 1 Prince of Wales Stakes. As a top selection, I like the 2-horse Cracksman. I'm going to go 2-6-5 in the TriCast of the trifecta. I'll single the 2-horse to end off the pick 4. So now let's get on to race number 5, the 5 o'clock from Royal Ascot. This is the most difficult race to get your head around on today's program. This is the first most difficult. The first race was the second most difficult race to get your head around. You could probably go many, many ways in this race. The 5th race from Ascot, the 5 o'clock, it's the Royal Hunt Cup. It's Heritage Handicap here, going for Class 2 horses, going for a purse of $236,500. The race is for 3-year-olds and upwards here. Field of 33 horses. We have a non-runner of the 30 horse, and the 32 and 33 are also eligible as reserves. The 31 Surrey Hope draws in, so just keep that in mind. They're going the distance of ground here of 1,600 meters of the straight 1 mile. Keep that in mind. My top selection here is non-existent because I have 3 horses I think can win, and like I said, it's a very difficult race to get your head around. 3 horses I like here are the 18 horse here, Cape Byron, the number 24 horse here, Metahim, and the number 28 horse here, Mountain Rescue. Those are the 3 horses I think can win. I'll start off with the 18 horse, Cape Byron. Andrea Tazzini's on this Rochvarian train, 4-year-old colt Shamdral. This horse's most recent outing came on the 17th of May at York. 1 mile on a Class 2 handicap. This horse finished 4th by 4 1/4 lengths that day, and he was under a drive most of the race, and he never really got going. He probably needed the race. I think second off the break, this horse ran a little bit better. Before that, he ran in the Middle East at Maidan, 11th of January, a mile and 8th, 1,800 meters in the Group 3 Singspiel. This horse finished 9th by 8 lengths. He never was really there. It wasn't his day to win. The winner, Ben Battle, is running Tuesday in the Queen Anne, and is well fancied there by me in that race, but this horse just couldn't catch him there. And then at Shunti last October, a mile and 8th, 1,800 meters in the listed stakes. Horse finished 3rd by 1 3/4 lengths. Ran quite well. It wasn't a bad outing. It wasn't the worst, but wasn't the best outing. It was an average race there. But the last time this horse stepped on this turf course, it was soft ground though. 1 mile in a Class 3 handicap last September. This horse won by a neck and just had a very nice, easy victory. I think here 15-1, returning to this horse's last victor place. I think this horse could run a big one. Watch out. Another horse, the 24 horse, could run a big one. Metahim. Tom Marquand is on this Richard Hannon trained 4-year-old gelding by Kodiak. This horse's most recent outing came on the 5th of May at Goodwood. Yielding ground, 7 furlongs, Class 2 handicap. Horse is second off the layoff. This horse finished 4th by 4 1/4 lengths. It was a little bit of an improvement off the race before, but she never really got going to the full extent. Before that, this horse ran at Newmarket during the Craven meeting, yielding ground, 7 furlongs on a Class 2 handicap. This horse finished 5th by 6 lengths that day, and again, really just never showed up there. And then last August at the Ebor at York, good ground, 1 mile on a Class 2 handicap. Horse finished 4th by 3 3/4 lengths. It wasn't a bad race there. She ran her heart out. If she runs that York race today, I think she could win this race. Like I said, her 2 races in 2018 are a little subpar, but she has that, she has run well in the past. I think she's due for a big run here, and I'll take my chances with her, along with the number 28 horse, Mountain Rescue. Joel Massé, the veteran, is on this Chris Wall trained 6-year-old gelding by High Chaparral. This horse's most recent outing came on the 19th of May at Newmarket. 7 furlongs on a Class 3 handicap. This horse won by 1 3/4 lengths, and this horse just had a very nice victory that day. An all-around decent effort there, second off the break. Before that, 3 weeks earlier, at Yarmouth, 7 furlongs, Class 3 handicap. This horse finished 6 by 11 lengths, and with a heavy weight, this horse just weakened out of it. It wasn't her day to win, or his day to win. And then Yarmouth last fall, 7 furlongs, Class 3 handicap. Horse ran quite well, finished second by 2 1/4 lengths. Wasn't going to catch the winner, but she was second. He was second best there. I like this horse's chances a lot here today. With the veteran up, watch out for this horse. So to recount my bets for the 5th from Royal Ascot, it's the 5 o'clock. It's the Royal Hunt Cup. Gonna go as a top selection. Well, not as a top selection. Here's my top 3 in this race. I like the 18 horse Cape Byron. I'm gonna go with the 24 horse here, Meta Him, and I'm going to use the 28 horse here, Mountain Rescue. So 18, 24, 28. So now let's get on to race number 6, the 535 from Ascot's the nightcap. The 535, it is the Group 3 Jersey Stakes. It's a Group 3 race for Class 1 horses going for a purse of $121,500. This race is for 3-year-olds only. Field of 23 horses going the distance of ground of 1,400 meters or 7 furlongs on the turf course. My top selection here, I like the 11 horse, Hemp Hemp Hooray. I'm gonna go 11-2-8 in the tricast, so the trifecta. 11-2-8 tricast trifecta. Top selection, the 11 horse Hemp Hemp Hooray. 15-1 here, 3-year-old colt by Artie Schiller. Joel Rosario gets the leg up for Wesley Ward. This horse's most recent outing came on the Poly track in Kentucky at Turfway. 6.5 furlongs in a stakes race. This horse won by 12 lengths. He was 70 cents to the dollar, and he just destroyed the field. A very nice, easy victory for this horse there. It was against nobodies, but he still won very nicely. Before that, Santa Anita in California, the 18th of February, 6.5 furlongs down the hillside turf course. This horse finished 4th by 3.5 lengths. A little bit wide, and it took a little bit of time for this horse to get going there. And then before that, 3rd of November at Del Mar, 1 mile Breeze Cup Juvenile Turf. Why Pocha? This horse just beat nobody. He finished 14th by 17 lengths and just had nothing there. But had a very good race at Woodbine last fall in the Grade 2 summer. This horse finished second by a neck. Had the lead, got caught right by wire by Untamed Domain, but this horse ran her heart out. The tactics probably with this horse is going to be go straight to the lead and open up by bunch and hopefully to, get there and go on the lead all throughout. Joel Rosario can be a very good speed rider here in America, and I like the booking on this one at 15-1. I think this horse is probably Wesley Ward's best chance to get a victory this afternoon. Second would probably be his other horse also, but I out of the 2 Wesley Ward runners this afternoon, 3 Wesley Ward runners this afternoon, I think this is his best chance. At 15-1, I'll be all over this horse at post time. Another horse I think can maybe win here is the 2 horse Glorious Journey, 20-1, 3-year colt by DeBowie. James Doyle's on this one for Charlie Appleby. This horse ran at Shunty a few weeks ago and mile in the 8th in the Group 3 Prix de Goucher Stakes. This horse finished 3rd by a half length and, ran well in that small field of horses. It was a respectable race. It was an improvement off the start 4, which came the Craven Stakes at Newmarket. This horse finished 4th by 13 lengths. The winner, Massar, went on to win the English Derby. The 3rd place finisher, Roaring Lion, went on to win the Dante at York. Ran a decent race in the Epsom Derby, but this horse just wasn't really there. I think the race was a little bit too tough for this one. And then before that, this horse ran at Saint Cloud last September, 7 furlongs in the Group 3 Prix La Recha Stakes. This horse won by 1/4 lengths and just had a very easy victory. At 20-1, this horse you don't want to throw out. I'll do an each way wager on her also. Those are the top 2 in the race for me here, and I'll be betting accordingly, so watch out for those. So to recap my bets for the 6th from Royal Ascot, the 535, it's the Group 3 Jersey Stakes. As a top selection, I like the 11 horse Hemp Hemp Hooray. I'm going to go 11-2-8 in the TriCast or the trifecta. I'm going to also do a forecast or an exacta here. Exacta box, or a forecast combination, I believe that's what you guys call it in the UK. I'm going to do an exacta box 211. I think those are the two best horses here, and I'll box it, see what happens. But watch out for these horses today. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and join me this week for more Royal Ascot previews. Good luck, everybody.